In this video, I'm going to show you how to make bread and breadwoods in the same batch. What a lovely day to bake. My name is Arne, a German hobby baker who's living in Luxembourg. Have you ever had the need of making breadwoods and bread at the same time? You can do that. I'm going to show you with my walnut sourdough bread. So let's get started. This is from Luxembourg with Loaf. We start the evening before we bake by preparing our levain, and therefore we take 80 grams of water and we take 80 grams of flour. I'm here using my wheat sourdough starter, so I'm adding 10 grams of it, and then I give it a good stir with a spoon, and then I close the lid and leave that on my countertop overnight at room temperature. The next day it's time to prepare our main dough. The levain has beautifully risen overnight. We are having 170 grams of it. We also need 680 grams of all-purpose flour, as well as 120 grams of rye flour, 16 grams of salt, 620 grams of water, and 170 grams of walnuts, which I'm going to roast a little bit in a pan. Then I'm adding the water to my mixer, leave a little bit for later as a bassinage. Then I'm adding the flour, the rye flour as well. I'm adding the levain. And then I'm starting my mixer at low speed. After 10 minutes, everything should be incorporated. I'm adding a little bit of the water, and then increase the speed, add the salt, and mix it for another 5 minutes at high speed. Then I'm adding my walnuts, and then I give it another 2 minutes of mixing. Then it's time to do window pane test. So weten your hands and then stretch the dough a little bit. And if it has like this consistency, the dough is already good. Oh shit! I dumped my dough a little bit, not where it should belong. So let's give it one more try. So I'm taking my dough scraper and form a nice little ball. Then I wet my hands and do some slap and folds. And this goes now into a plastic box where I put a little bit of olive oil into it in order to prevent the dough from sticking to the sides. Then I close the lid, and this will rest for 30 minutes at room temperature. After 30 minutes, it's time to do our first set of coil folds. Therefore, I wet my hands, and then I pull the dough up and fold it over and rotate the bowl, and then do the same again. Rotate it 90 degrees and then do the same again. Close the lid, and after another 30 minutes, we do a second set of coil folds. Same procedure as before, pull the dough up and fold it over. This actually creates a lot of gluten development in the dough, which we need. After another 30 minutes, we do a third set of coil folds. So wet your hands again, pull the dough up, and then rotate the box, and then do the same again. We let it rest for another 30 minutes, and then we do a fourth set of coil folds. After that, the gluten development is so good that we don't need to do any further coil folds on that. So we let it ferment for about 3 to 6 hours, depending a little bit how warm it is at your home. And then I put some flour on my countertop and dump the dough. And then I'm dividing the dough into 2 pieces because I want to make 2 loaves out of it. And then I'm taking the dough scraper and form these really tight dough balls. Do the same with the other loaf. Also form beautiful, tighten up dough ball. So this will now rest for about 30 minutes uncovered. Then it's time to do the shaping. And therefore I flour my hands and also flour a little bit the countertop, and then I flip the dough upside down so the sticky side is up. I'm actually not a real expert in shaping the dough, so forgive me for being a little bit stupid here. So I'm taking the sides and put it to the middle. You can look up my shaping technique from my easy sourdough bread. This was way better than this one. I'm pulling the dough from the top and then I stitch the sides to the center. Whenever your hands getting stuck, you can add some flour to them, and then you roll the dough up by pushing the dough away from your body and tucking that to the countertop. You can also use the dough scraper to add some more tension, and then it's time to transfer the dough into a Benetton, where I put a little bit of flour into it in order to prevent the dough from sticking. And then I put the dough upside down into the Benetton. And then I'm doing exactly the same with the other loaf. So flip it upside down. Then I'm folding the sides to the center. In this case, I'm also folding the bottom to the top first. I should have done that before actually folding the sides to the center, but yeah, details. As I said, I'm not an expert in shaping techniques. Not yet. Maybe I should do a whole video on that topic. If you would like to see that, leave me a comment below the video. I'm glad to improve my skills in this as well. So then I'm also dusting my other Benetton and put the dough into that as well. What I'm also doing as a last step, I'm stitching a little bit the dough. So that will also create some more tension, and this will get a nicer oven spring. But this is an optional step. And then I'm covering the dough with this plastic wrap, and this goes in the fridge now for the whole night up until the next morning. The next morning we are going to bake first of all the bread, and therefore I'm putting some parchment paper on top and I'm baking that into a Dutch oven, which is for me the best possible way to bake bread in the home oven, because the Dutch oven basically traps a lot of steam, which results in a nicer oven spring than just baking that in the plain oven. Now I'm taking a lame and score a 45 degrees angle cut into the loaf, and I hope this will help the dough from opening up in the oven. And then I'm closing the Dutch oven, and before I'm adding some ice cubes into it that will add some extra steam. Then I'm transferring that into the preheated oven. The oven is 250 degrees Celsius. That's 482 degrees Fahrenheit. And after 20 minutes, I open up the Dutch oven and reduce the temperature to 220 degrees Celsius. That's 428 degrees Fahrenheit. And I bake that for another 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, I'm adding a little wooden spoon to the side of the oven to open it up a little bit and bake it for the last 5 minutes. And then the bread is already done. It looks good, opened up nicely, crack is good, sound is good, perfect bread. That cools down now. And then we preparing our bread rolls. And for that you flour your countertop and dump the loaf onto it. And then I'm taking the dough scraper and basically first of all divide the loaf into 2 pieces. And then I'm doing a mistake which you should avoid. I then floured basically the sticky side, but don't do that because we will use that sticky side to stitch the dough together in order to create some tension, which I'm going to do right now. So just seam the edges together, and of course if you flour that, they don't stick so good, so don't do that. And then I'm putting the dough upside down, and then I'm cutting another 3 times out of each half. So then I have like 6 bread rolls in total. This will be then transferred on a pizza peel, and I have preheated the oven up again to 250 degrees Celsius. That's 482 degrees Fahrenheit. And as the bread rolls are smaller than the bread, we don't have to bake them for 45 minutes. 35 should be way enough. So I will also add some steam to the oven, and after 20 minutes I reduce the temperature again to 220 degrees Celsius. That was 428 degrees Fahrenheit, and bake them like you get this golden nice crumb and texture. Sound is good, and they can also like cool down now for a little bit. And now comes the moment of truth, always the cutting of the bread. So let's have a look inside and see the crumb texture. And this looks really amazing. Nice open crumb, very, very homogene. Love that. And the smell is so gorgeous. I wish you could smell it. And also let's cut one of the bread rolls to just have a look inside how they came up. Wow, also really nice texture. I love the color that was caused by the rye flour. Super lovely. So enjoy. Here are some impressions of my bread and my bread rolls. I hope you have fun when you bake that. Bon appetit.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Have you already tried that trick? Please write me a comment below that video, and also tell me what kind of nuts you already incorporated into your breads. If you want to support me and my work, please like this video, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next videos. I wish you a great day, Eddie, and goodbye.